Formula 1 returns to Bahrain for round 15 of the 2020 season, entering now the final segment on the calendar. With power tracks such as this race at Bahrain, China and Suzuki yet to come, many eyes were on the teams of Toyota and Alfa Romeo, as both the cars are notoriously fast in a straight line, but do somewhat struggle through the corners where Red Bull can make up a difference. It depends, are there going to be enough corners for the Austrian outfit to get themselves in the fight? However, much of the early talk there was about Renault, as neither Nico Hulkenberg or Jean-Eric Vergne have confirmed contracts for next year. The French team look to be taking it down to the wire to see whether they keep on either of their drivers for next year. Red Bull though were expecting a strong showing despite this being a power track, with Verstappen and Albon looking good throughout practice, and Verstappen even challenging the likes of Kevin Magnussen and Matsushita in the number 2 cars of the Alfa Romeo and Toyota teams. The Vitero though was finding it a little bit of struggle in the first practice, especially on the hard tyres, trying to get temperature in the rears. He would lose it through the middle sector, almost like Hamilton did back in 2008, but thankfully avoided contact with anything. Hey guys, Renault here. Welcome back to Formula 1. We're here today for the Bahrain Grand Prix, a track which in the past has had a mixed fortune for me. I've had a lot of luck around the circuit. I've also had a lot of bad luck around the circuit as well, so hopefully today's on the good side. You can get a first look at the first two, so it's the Alfa Romeo on pole with a Toyota in second, and for the championship we definitely wouldn't want it any other way than that. I got Leclerc there in P15, a poor lap there for him in a difficult Ferrari, with Pierre Gasly starting P11 in the AlphaTauri, so good luck there from the French once again and coming through in qualifying. There we get a good look as well at Matsushita. I should see pretty soon where he's starting on the qualifying graphic. There's a nice one there at the back straight where of the second. Actually, the third year, I think, because we've got 3 on this track, got down the start finish straight. And now we look now onto the formation to make sure everyone gets away. Of course, most of these cars have a pretty much an anti-stall method anyway. And it's Josh Tiru who starts on pole with Lewis Hamilton completing the front row. And Matsushita third place in the second of the Toyotas. An amazing lap from Mick Schumacher sees the outgoing world champion start from P4 for Williams, ahead of both the Renaults of Jean-Eric Vergne and Nico Hulkenberg. Kevin Magnussen starts from 7th in the other at the Alfa Romeos, with Alex Albon lead Red Bull in 8th. Max Verstappen starts from P9 in the other Red Bull, and the other Williams of Nicholas Latifi rounds off the top 10. Pierre Gasly on the alternate strategy starts from P11 for AlphaTauri, ahead of Daniel Kvyat as the lead Mercedes in 12th. The McLaren Lando Norris starts only in 13th, ahead of the 2 Ferraris of Vettel and Leclerc in 14th and 15th. Rio Hanto starts down in P16 out in Q1 in the McLaren. Then Sergio Sette Camara and George Russell in either AlphaTauri and Mercedes cars, with the 2 Aston Martins of Lance Stroll and Sergio Perez bringing up the grid, both starting on the soft tyres, looking to take up places early on in the race. But now looking back at us, starting from pole position. P1 on the grid, that's secondly, of course we get the load of points there that come with it as well. As we line up now in our first play, but of course we don't want to end up overshooting now and get a penalty this early on in the race. Now traditionally our starts in this car haven't been too great, but we need a good one to now, as we come to the 5 red lights at the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's a long hold, but now it's lights out and away we go. We're going to get swamped immediately there by the 2 Toyotas to go inside Hamilton on the outside, and both clears now into turn 1, with side by side, possibly between the 2 Toyotas going out into turn 1. We got one of the Rays going for a massive dive. Got Jean-Eric Vergne at the inside line. You side by side with the 2 Toyotas there up in front of the trying to make a move in second place, but there's a hold down there in P3. Just like it's the runner there for Hulkenberg, not Jean-Eric Vergne, and now we've been done by Schumi as well. Now we're trying to come back now. It's our teammate Kevin Magnussen trying to make a move now side by side with the other Renault, Jean-Eric Vergne. We just managed to hold off all 3 of them coming into the braking zone. So that's because when P1 to P5, this car does not going off the line. We know with this car it takes a few laps for tyre scale temperature, and then of course the 2 Toyotas will take advantage of that. Of course the Toyotas, their weakness is tyre wear, whereas our car is good on its tyres, but wherever their design for the car is, they get temperature in the tyres quicker, but on the downside the tyres wear out quicker, whereas Alfa Romeo have it the other way around. Whereas Williams, they just have Mick Schumacher, so that explains why they're so far up the grid. And of course with the every previous cars in their fight with Red Bull for P4 in the championship, although he is more of trying to keep ahead of Mercedes to try and keep P5. Now Schumi's always trying to fall away a little bit from the Renault and the 2 Toyotas up in front, but all these cars are still fairly evenly matched. We've seen with the championship standings, the Alfa Romeo, Toyota and Renault have been the Class 3 teams of this season. There's still with another 5 races left to go, there's still plenty of time for anything yet to change. Red Bull can still come back, maybe even Ferrari or McLaren could make a massive step forward. Now looking on board now with the leader, Lewis Hamilton is already pulling away, a bit of a gap there from his teammate behind him. Coming to this point in the season, this is where team orders will start coming to play. Massive Houston will know how to have to play the backup role, start backing up Hulkenberg, Schumi, more importantly ourselves to give Hamilton the gap that he needs for his bid for the Drivers' Championship. Now we've got Werner looking very interesting actually in the back of us, so Werner with some pretty good straight line speed there in that Renault. I mean, the Renault engine has come on leaps and bounds this year. I mean, Renault, even with getting disqualified, finished 9th in the standings last year. Now Werner tries to have a look at the inside once again. He's still not quite going to make a move. So now we've got on the Red Bulls there, Alex Albon looking very interested up behind them as well. Now moving further on, looking a bit further back in the back. Looking here now then at the Ferrari of 5-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, who has one of the AlphaTauris there right up behind him. Vettel there on the medium tyres, and the AlphaTauri probably on the softs is Pierre Gasly. Either way, they're going to try and make a move down the straight with that DRS and that Hunter engine, of course, with the Ferrari. The Ferrari engine has to be pretty good, but the rest of the car actually isn't the greatest. Now Gasly makes the move past both his cars actually on the same tyre, so the AlphaTauri looking to have more pace at the stage in the race than that Ferrari. But now Vettel with the DRS going to come back now at the Frenchman. If he looks to make a move there on the inside line of Pierre Gasly, keeping it side by side once again, and Gasly going to try and hide it around the outside line of the 5-time champion King is Sabasel. A great battle here for him. I mean, it's still going to be low down, probably on the fringe of the points, and Vettel with just some great defense managed to keep that Ferrari ahead of the AlphaTauri. But it shows the Ferraris are down here battling with the AlphaTauris, which I'm pretty sure are the bottom team in the championship standings. So AlphaTauri, I mean, it's crazy to them, they've found something to unlock some pace around this circuit. But now, further on, we've got Vettel, who's now behind the AlphaTauri. So at some point, Vettel's managed to lose that place, but now he's going to try and get it back. He's gaining still on the back of Pierre Gasly through these corners. Of course, through here, there's not going to really be anything that Vettel can do to try and make a move on Gasly. And now he's down the switching, of course, no DRS down this straight. And now Vettel there pulls the inside line of the AlphaTauri driver, going now into the final corner. And Vettel there with the inside line can go to try and sweep around the outside line. He's going to try and keep it alive, keep some good momentum. He just sweeps it cleanly around the outside line of Sebastian. So Vettel having a massive ding battle, and Gasly even gets a DRS as well. So Gasly's playing that to perfection. But Vettel must have the engine turned up now. He's still keeping it side by side still. Now into the corner, Gasly trying to hold it around the outside line once again. Vettel though with the inside line, even without DRS. So that's how I said, that Ferrari engine has got some good grunt, but the rest of the car doesn't really match up too well with it in terms of maximum performance. So Vettel though pulls ahead of Gasly once again, and now he's heading to the corner. Yes, he does, and now it's Vettel who retakes that position finally, and that's all this is bringing out Charles Leclerc, another Ferrari, into the fight. Now he's managed to get ahead of the Williams there of Nicholas Latifi, and also one of the Mercs. Starting to get themselves quite interested in this fight as well. Now then, on to lap 7. Not much changed in our race. We've got Albon behind us, and we've still got Schumi in front of us, followed then by, in front of them, the Hulkenberg and the two choices as well. But now we're going to follow Schumi. Now it's going to be a pistol battle here between Williams and Alfa Romeo, and one of the choices coming from us. So we're all going for the undercut battle now, because our fight, I mean, obviously it's with Schumi, but you think that we can try and get past him since he's a slower car? In terms of pay rating, of course, in terms of the driver in the car, of course, Schumi's going to be right up there, so proving why he's the outgoing world champion for this year. Williams, their first year back with Honda engines, and of course not going to get a car immediately built to the needs of the engine, because they've been building cars for BMW engines since 2015. So it'll take a little bit of getting used to. That team definitely been coming on its bounds, of course, with tire sponsor Rocket as well, giving a big cash injection to the team as well. And then up front, it's actually Hulkenberg now leading the Grand Prix on the soft tyres, because everyone starting in the top 10 will be on soft tyres anyway. He's now in some ways managed to clear one of the titles. Hulkenberg driving potentially for his career. You know, both Renault drivers' contracts are up at the end of the season, and at this point neither has a contract renewal going into the next season, 2021. Now looking at our teammate Kevin Magnussen, who's now holding up both the Rebels then of Alex Albon and Max Verstappen as well. Both the Rebels, I mean, they had a torrid time here last year, but I think they got like 2 or 3 points from this race, so things have definitely been improving. I mean, of course it depends, because the Bahrain's usually is early on in the season, and this year is towards the end. But now we've got Albon now gaining in the station now with that Honda engine. We know the Honda engine has also been coming on leaps and bounds over the past few seasons, ever since 2018. And the engine's been in the back of the Red Bull now as our teammate peels into the pit lane now. Is it going to be a pit lane battle once again? It is going to be a battle. It's like according to Max Verstappen, though, Red Bull giving Verstappen the preferential treatment despite Albon being the lead driver on the track. Because Albon, no, he's the lead driver, so he gets free choice of what he wants to do and he wants to stay off the extra laps. He's clearly feels he's got an extra lap left in those tyres. And it was a pretty good stop there from the Alfa Romeo boys. And it was a good enough stop to keep Knight in front of whichever of the Red Bulls that is. I think it is Max Verstappen. And then the other Renault there, Jean-Eric Vergne as well. And I'm going to come out now behind all the cars which are yet to stop. And of course all the ones that already have stopped as well. So we've got K-Mag there, is going to come out there just behind us, so it looks. And Magnussen's also gone for another set of soft tyres. So Kevin Magnussen playing the alternate strategy now is Jean-Eric Vergne putting up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So they're not wasting any time behind us now. And we're now stopping here behind all of these slower cars. And now we've got our teammate Kevin Magnussen ready to travel over around this. And I'm assuming he's going to give you some side. We're going to try and catch him napping. Repay the favour to what he did to us last year. We're going to force him wide. I mean, we make our way through on the outgoing world champion. No, now he gets a compound line now. Can Kevin Magnussen try and make him move through as well? Going with under braking and have a look, but he can't quite make anything stick. Now we've got the Renault there trying to make a move on the lead of the Red Bulls, keeping it side by side. Of course, Renault and Red Bull, there's going to be no love lost between them, especially with Jean-Eric Vergne as well in the Renault car. And so all this fight is just a line that's Toyota up in front because you've got one of the Aston Martins there holding up a Merc, and that's just allowing the Toyota in front of these cars just to pull away. I mean, credit due to the Aston Martin team. They're running their own race, and if they can beat a Merc, which is the car that supplies them with engines, then that is going to be a positive step forward for Lawrence Stroll and, of course, the whole Aston Martin team. Now we've got Kevin Magnussen now looking up the inside line here of George Russell into the braking zone. And keeps actually going to make a double overtake there. Brilliant move from Nico Hulkenberg. Trying to make a double move there and keep his side there with the young Brit. Actually, there's a little bit of contact, a little bit of front wing that's come off. Can you quite see if that was from the Mercedes or from the Renault? But either way, I saw a bit of debris there flying. I think it might be a front wing there. I think it might be a little bit of the front wing off of the Mercedes. That's going to compromise Russell's race now. And we've got ourselves now all over the back of the Aston Martin in the front now. We've got our teammate Kevin Magnussen for a massive dive with the inside line of Mick Schumacher's over the Alfa Romeos, showing their dominance there over Mick Schumacher. And now as the Aston Martin thing just gets out of the way of things, pulling them into the pits. A good choice there from Lawrence Stroll. He was about to get swamped to lose a load of time to all of these faster cars. Now then, on the run down now into 7, we've got Kevin Magnussen right up behind us. We're getting still on the back. George, we're not quite getting enough to make a move on our fellow Brit at this stage. Of course, the Merc is a slower car and carrying front wing damage as well. And you see in 2 sectors how much Hulkenberg's already pulling away. Granted, these are the straight line speed sectors, so not really noticing too much. Are we going to run out wide? And let Kevin Magnussen through. A bit of a tactic there from Alfa Romeo because K-Mag, he's on the faster tyres now. He's doing the alternate strategy to me. I'm going on soft tyres for my final stint. And I've gone from the mediums now, whereas K-Mag's going for his second set of soft tyres now and is going for the mediums at the end. So there's no point in me holding up K-Mag, costing him time when he needs to be gaining it now. Now K-Mag's already all over the back then. Off that Mercedes up in front. Coming now into this really, really tight corner. We get a little bit wrong, we don't lock up though, which is the main thing. Now K-Mag's now gaining on the back of George Russell. Is he closer to make a move down this straight with the DRS? He's going to think about making a move. No, Russell goes defensive, but now K-Mag can try to get along around. A bit of a lock up there from George Russell, giving you deep then races, and Russell feeding the pressure there. I mean, this stage of the race, he's probably going for a one stop now from the mediums onto the set of hards. Although he's going to be needing a new front wing as well, so I think any chance of the one stop strategy maybe getting some points might be going out the window here because this fight is still for track position, so if we get past him, Russell's out of the points again anyway. And now Magnussen all over the back though of George Russell getting into the corner, have a little bit of a look there. Russell there moving a little bit down into the braking zone, so a little bit sus there from Russell now, and have a look at that from the stewards. I think K-Mag though knew what he was doing, so he didn't really fighting too much there. Going to wait for the DRS now. He's going to make a move on the Mercedes now down into turn 1. It's like a blast passing there with that Ferrari powered Alfa Romeo. Coming down out into turn 1, we're going to squeeze him as well. Squeeze Russell, trying to follow our teammate through up the inside line. George Russell, he made the move stick there on our fellow Brit. So he bursts onto the scene. He's been in that Mercedes since his F1 debut, and the Mercedes car this year definitely not as good as the one he had previous. Russell, though, of course, with the front wing damage, it's going to be a lot slippier in a straight line. So, down the straight, this is where he could possibly have a chance of coming back. We managed to pull away from it though, keep enough of a gap. But now that's exactly what we need now. Now onto lap 14, you've got your yellow flags there out, so things someone's either retired or had a little bit of an issue. But we've got the DRS there now. Jean-Eric Vergne. Vergne's out of the Grand Prix. That's definitely not going to want him have to have contract talks with Renault for next year at this point. I mean, it's getting towards crunch time now with the reliability of these parts, and that's something the Ferraris usually have, and Ferrari powered cars usually tend to have quite good reliability even when the engines aren't the best. But now then, on to lap 17, we're still keeping with K-Mag because his tyres now at this point are going to start to be going off. So but of course though, at this point he's still going to be going quicker than what we are, although he's just a little bit quicker, so we're using him really just to pull us along and gain time eventually, because we're going longer on this dim now before we go into set of our soft tyres towards the end of the race. Now it's Huckerberg and the other runner puts up the fast lap, so clearly the other runner is not having any issues that Verm was experiencing now, so teammate's in for his second stop of the race now. And it's going to have to be a set of medium tyres, we can't even set of softs, otherwise they get disqualified for not using 2 compounds of tyre. They're going to come in now for a set of the medium tyres. We've got a clear pit lane there, and nice stop once again from the Alfa Romeo boys. Now clear pit lane, I see a battle lane is going to come out just behind, but I think he's going to get a little bit of clean early, so I think most of these cars are either the ones who are trying a one stop or have yet to stop again. Although that is a lot of there's one of the Aston Martin there, and the McLarens, and the Alfa Tauri is going to come out just there, I think they made a little bit of contact with the back of Saturday camera. It's on a set of hard tyres going to the end of the race, which I think most of these cars are, so K-Mace, he's got a lot of work to do now. I mean, if you say that well, like another lap or two, then you're probably going to try and get past cars, but being on soft tyres, the tyre wear on there really is noticeable. But now then, on to lap 20, we're now leading the Grand Prix. We've got Lewis Hamilton behind us now, we're going to be boxing at the end of this lap. We've got Charles Leclerc currently doing a madness in P3, who's currently on the hard tyres. And of course trying that one stop, trying to get to the end of the race. Because he's going to be going a lot slower than the cars around him. But we know Leclerc, he's a proven race winner now in Formula 1, so he definitely has had to defend in enough Ferraris while he's going to be fighting. Have Ferrari even took a podium so far this season? I'm not sure if they have. We come now into the pits nice and slow, because don't want to get a penalty there for speeding. It gave up a little bit of time, but at this point in the championship, I'd rather give him about half a second or so than possibly risk getting a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Now it's going to be a set of soft tyres now. It's going to be a maximum attack for us now to the end of the Grand Prix. Not quite sure what the tyres the people around us are going to be on. There goes our battle, I think, with Leclerc and the cars around him. Now as the tyres there makes a move, so the podium dream must be enough for Charles Leclerc. And we're going to come out there actually behind one of the Mercedes, is that? And we'll come out just in front of the back of Pierre Gasly on the hard tyres, making a move on the McLaren. So Gasly really, I don't know what he's had for breakfast, probably some of Valtteri Bottas' porridge, just to be absolutely on it so far in this race. And then following up one now with our teammate Kevin Magnussen, who's actually catching up now to the back of this battle up in front. Now once again at Pierre Gasly, who's bringing the human heart rate for this race, going to go around the outside line there on the Ferrari. Once again, he's going to be getting deja vu. He's done that a couple of times already in this race. And with the DRS, they're going to try and make a move on Charles Leclerc. And we've got a teammate Kevin Magnussen, I think has to back out of the move with Leclerc coming back. And Gasly down into turn 1. Can the Monegasque make a move on the inside line of his good friend? And the Gasly going to the inside line for turn 2, but Leclerc's going to try and keep it around, but he's going to squeeze out there by the Tauri. He's going to lose a lot of momentum there as well. And that is exactly the opportunity that K-Mag needs. Try and make a move. Coming up now into turn 4. You make a move, Gasly goes defensive to the inside line and just manages to hold off from Charles Leclerc. But nice battle here between these two. No, through this middle part, this is where Gasly needs to pull away a little bit, but you think the error on the Alfa Tauri will be worse than the Ferrari. But all the way on to lap 29. Yeah, not a lot happened for us in that second set. We've been on the soft tyres, we've been pushing like anything, of course, as we would be, with using up all the extra fuel and the higher engine modes we had saved left. But the gap to the cars in front, after all that mid-traffic, was just a little bit too much. The tyre wear on the softs wasn't actually too great. I was expecting the car to be better than it was. I mean, it was good at the start, but as towards the end of the race, not looking too great. We were matching our best time there through the first set, and still giving it absolutely everything we've got. Because with Hamilton out in front, that is really not what we need after the championship. We really do not need to be finishing 4th place with Hamilton in the lead. I mean, on the mini-map, you can't even see him because that's Matthew Cheetah in front, so it looks like Toyota are going to get back to their dominant ways of having a 1-2 as things stand. And then you see halfway through Hamilton's nearly an entire sector in front of us, about 20 seconds or so down the road. You think in a 36 lap race, that's about just over half staying to lap he's managed to pull on us, and we're in pretty much near equal cars as Toyota compared to the Alfa Romeo. They're coming up now then to the finish line. It's going to be Lewis Hamilton now, who wins the Bahrain Grand Prix, and that's exactly what he needs for his championship fight against us. It's really not what we need though. Hamilton getting away, we do not need him. We don't need him now building momentum. It's going to be Matthew Cheetah P2. It's going to be Hulkenberg P3, but now we're coming around the final corner now as well. Everything goes okay, it's going to be a P4 for us. It's still going to be some good points, but we really needed more. Looking up to the line there, we crossed the line and we confirmed that P4 finish. But we really did not need to lose that many points though to Hamilton in this race. I mean, you get 25 for a win, And I think he may have got the fast lap, so he might have got 26 points compared to our 12, so that is a big swing there back to the Brits. But Gunther Steiner, though, looks very happy once again. Of course, why wouldn't he? His team got a 1-2 in this race. And then Lewis Hamilton celebrates another race win with that Toyota team, which he's helped build from the ground up. Joined them back in 2017, back before they even brought in their Toyota engine. So he's been there for a long and he's finally now reaping the rewards. Now you've got Charles Leclerc there in P9, so a good result from Leclerc. Just managed to scrape a few points in that Ferrari. Taking a look now at the end results, and Lewis Hamilton does, annoyingly for us, take the fastest lap of the race. He's absolutely dominant, 15 seconds clear of his teammate Matsushita. He still runs off a Toyota 1-2 and takes them a step closer to the Constructors' title. And Hulkenberg runs off the podium in third for Renault. We did all we could, finishing in P4. In fact, we'll get some very, very good points for Ferrari, finishing in P5, a champion drive there from the German. As well for Daniel Kvyat, finishing in P6 in an underperforming Mercedes car. Pierre Gasly, who honestly really is my driver of the day for the amount of action he's been involved in, finishing 7th place for AlphaTauri, ahead of the other Alfa Romeo of Kevin Magnussen in 8th. Charles Leclerc is all finishing 9th in the other Ferrari, with Mick Schumacher couldn't capitalise on his good qualifying, only finishing in P10. Lando Norris takes a couple points from McLaren. In 11th, it's been Max Verstappen getting the only point for Red Bull in 12th, so I don't know how it's a Red Bull. They must have had some trouble getting through the field, but they've completely dropped off the face of the earth after the first stint. Now on to the Drivers' Championship standings, and Lewis Hamilton now has a 37-point lead. It's looking good for him at the top. And Matsushita in P3 looking fairly secure, although he's only 23 points ahead of Hulkenberg. He did outscore him in this race, so the fight for third is definitely still on between Hulk and Matsushita. And you've got Jean-Nic Verne looking under threat now in 5th place. The teammate Kevin Magnussen in P6, he's definitely getting some good momentum now towards the end of the season. Ahead then of the two Red Bulls, with Max Verstappen is on exactly 100 points now. He's now 21 points clear of his teammate Alex Albon. Daniel Kvyat dropping down into 9th place now, joint on points with Mick Schumacher, but on better result. Daniel Kvyat has that podium at the start of the season, so is ahead of the defending champion, with Nicholas Latifi, the other Williams, in 11th, and Sebastian Vettel with a good points all, rounds off the top 12. Toyota move ever closer to their first ever Constructors' World title, as they're now 110 points clear of Alfa Romeo. We move further clear of Renault, who are in third, and we now move 46 points clear of the French outfit. Red Bull, despite the poor race, still looked fairly secure in 4th place. Got a good gap of over 40 points to Williams, who are in 5th, but then a 13 points clear of Mercedes in 6th. Ferrari look like they might have now cleared themselves in P7, and now 11 points clear then of McLaren. And the points get maybe small, but the further down you go, the less it is the teams are able to get points. So Ferrari could be secure now in a lowly P7, but it's better than what it could have been. And AlphaTauri now move off of the bottom now with a good points all from both their drivers. And 50 points, 1 point clear of Aston Martin, who dropped down to the bottom now. So they're fight for last place. And a good chunk of prize money at the end as well. The battle there heats up even further between AlphaTauri and Aston Martin. So remember to vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that'll be in the video description, along with a link to the wiki for this series, which is basically like fandom Wikipedia, which I've made myself and edit myself. After each race, it's got each season from 2014 up to now, each team to have competed from then to now, and same for the drivers as well. So there's like nearly 100 pages or so, and you think about the total time that took to edit. So I just appreciate if you go and give that one a read. Also, remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell. See if I any future videos. If you give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram, that'd be much appreciated. There'll be linked in the description down below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.